Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me. So, the Democratic Party is in panic mode right now because they are starting to wonder about the electability of Vice President Kamala Harris. There's been some flippity floppity things going on here. I think she was just interviewed by Steve Colbert, and they're really panicking right now. The Democratic Party is panicking right now because it's just 26 days left until the election, and now they are starting to wonder, did they make a mistake by pushing Joe Biden aside and pushing Kamala Harris up? So let's get right into this article because this article has some very juicy information in it. Let's get right into this. Democrats who were once optimistic about the candidacy of Vice President Kamala Harris are now feeling extremely nervous about the party's decision to push President Joe Biden to step aside. Harris won exactly 0 Democrat primary votes before her coronation and held one of the lowest approval ratings as a vice president in U.S. history. So one has to wonder what's going on here. They'll explain. Only after the establishment media began writing about Harris in a positive way did her standing among the electorate appear to rise. Of course, the mainstream media can make a candidate or they can break it. And they certainly have been trying to break Trump. Okay, they have not been speaking positive about Trump in any shape or way. No matter what he does, there's always negative. But that's cool. That's cool. Let's go on. Everything is deadlocked and the composition of the electorate is unknowable. And there are so many things that are unprecedented, said Jamal Simmons, a Democrat strategist who served as Harris's communication director until last year. So it's just hard to know. Simons told The Hill, if you're not nervous, you're not paying attention. I guess. Democrat strategist Anthony Coley, who served in the Biden-Harris administration, admitted the party has tremendous anxiety after Biden endorsed Harris. Quote, now that the sugar high is gone, people have realized what Kamala Harris has said from the start, which is that she is the underdog, Coley said about Harris's lagging polling numbers in swing states. This is going to be a fight. These numbers are just so stubborn. These numbers are so stubborn. I don't think these numbers are stubborn. I think that maybe perhaps the American people are waking up that no matter how the establishment media is trying to spin her to make her look good, she's a dismal failure when it comes to her policies and the word salad that she constantly throws in these interviews. She's not given a clear, concise understanding of what she really stands for. I guess people aren't as dumb as they think, but let's go on. Harris's campaign was rocked on Tuesday when she told The View she would not change on failed policy from the last 4 years. Harris had worked hard to position herself as the candidate of change, and she did try to position herself as that. But in just one interview with Democrat allies, Harris undid her carefully crafted talking points. Under their administration, okay? This is the reality. Costs increased by about 20% across the board. Russia invaded Ukraine. Hamas and Iran attacked Israel. Illegal migrants invaded the southern border, and the nation suffered the deadly Afghan withdrawal. All those negative things, okay? Under their administration, they can blame it all on Trump all day, but it's happening under their administration. Anyway, the whiplash was exacerbated when Steve Colbert on CBS's Late Show asks about Harris how she would be different than Biden. Harris replied, quote, obviously I'm not Joe Biden. That's a dumb response. We all know you're not Joe Biden, you moron. Anyway, Harris did not give any specific reason why she would not govern like Biden, as Breitbart News reported. Now, I didn't listen to the interview, and I wouldn't have wanted to hear a yicken and yakking anyway, but I didn't listen to the interview, so I'm not going to speak on that interview. I'm just commenting on what the article here is stating here in part. One Democrat strategist told Hill her interviews had not gone very well. Quote, she is still fine-tuning her message 28 days out. And I'm sorry, we are in the make the sale phase of the campaign now. We're not still tweaking the message, the strategist told the Hill. We all knew this would be hard, a Democrat consultant explained. It's going to come down to the wire. No one knows how this will end. That's almost the scariest. That's almost the scariest part. You mean end of article? You mean almost the scariest part? That is the scariest part for you guys. And I did a video last night about porn actors in the porn industry doing an ad, $100,000 ad to try to get for the Biden-Harris administration because they think that Project 25, Trump gets in office, Project 25 is going to he's going to implement Project 25 to ban porn. They're so desperate, they got porn people trying to do something. I mean, come on. Stop it. Just stop it. Look. Here's what I believe the deal is. And to me, it's just straightforward. And I think a lot of Americans are waking up to this, and I'm glad about that. I'm glad about that because I have been so pessimistic about it. About American people and their ability to see past all the rhetoric that the mainstream media is trying to push with Kamala Harris, trying to make her to be this great person and praising her and you just this and you all that in a bag of chips. And she's not all that in a bag of chips. She's not all that in a bag of Doritos. She's not all that in a bag of corn. She's not any of that. She's not even a bag, let alone a bag of chips, okay? I mean, her policies are failures. I mean, well, let's put it like this. Let's just be real. Let's keep it 100. She claims she's not going to change anything that Biden has done because she doesn't want to undermine him, okay? But in order for you to be competitive, you're going to have to undermine him. In order for you to actually be the candidate of change, you're going to have to undermine him, okay? You're going to have to undermine his policies, but she doesn't want to do that because in reality, all the way through it, and I was reading somewhere where Biden even said in an interview that she supported me in all these policies. She was right there supporting me. He stated that in an article I was reading, an interview he had. I should have did a video on that article. That he basically said, look, she was right there alongside me. She didn't disagree. She didn't say, oh, you know what, Biden, you shouldn't do that. She was right there. So she's not going to do that. She's not going to undermine. But in order for her to be competitive, she's going to have to do that. But she's not going to do it. And here's the deal. If she doesn't undermine it and say, okay, we got to do something different, then the people are going to start to wake up to the reality that we're at an all-time high in inflation. We're in basically these wars. All this stuff all this negative crime is at an all-time high in many cities all over the country. All these negative things have been happening on ground level, okay, and affecting just about every American under their administration. When Trump was in office, the only thing the only thing negative that was actually happening was the mainstream media trying to demonize him. That was it. If you ask the average American when Trump was in office, how bad was it economically? How bad was it in terms of crime and all the rest? And all these illegals coming in, they weren't nowhere near what it is now. We still had crime and all this kind of stuff. Of course we did. But it was nowhere, from what I can remember, nowhere near what it is now. We weren't in any wars, and people are starting to wake up with that. They're starting to wake up to that reality, no matter how the mainstream media spins it today. But the thing was during the time that Trump was in office, the mainstream media tried to attack him. No matter what good he did, they tried to attack him, try to demonize him, call him the next Hitler, call him a dictator, call him racist, everything misogynistic, and all this other dumb, ignorant, foolish, retarded, crazy, bum junk. Okay, I'm saying everything beside cussing, okay? Because these people make me sick. They're lying scumbag. They're liars, and I don't like them. I hate a liar. I hate deliberate liars. I just don't like them, man. Jesus, give me Holy Spirit strength, okay? Because I do not like these people. They've done all this kind of stuff to try to demonize them. And now that we under the Biden-Harris administration, it seems that the American people are starting to see through all the rhetoric. Because clearly, the polls are not changing in her favor. It shouldn't be close at all. It shouldn't be close at all. The only reason why, as the article suggests, The only reason why it's close between Trump and Harris is because of the mainstream media pumping her up and praising her. That's the only reason why. So yeah, they ought to be afraid. They ought to be scared. You know, there's this movie that came out in the 1980s. It was a remake of a 1950s classic called The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, okay, and Gina Davis. And some of you guys from the 80s probably know about this movie. There's a line in the movie where Jeff Goldblum is starting to transform into the Fly, and then he goes out and he finds this young woman and brings her back to his place of residence. And he's trying to get her to get inside the pod or whatever. I'm just omitting some stuff. I think you know where I'm going. And the woman doesn't want to get into the pod, so she decides she wants to leave. And Jeff Goldblum's like, no, don't leave. So as she opens the door, Gina Davis comes in, and she's like, and Jeff Goldblum is telling the woman, he's grabbing on the other woman. It's like, come on, you can do it. She's like, no, I don't want to. I'm afraid. So the door opens up. Gina Davis stands there, and she looks and says, yes, be afraid. Be very afraid. You know where I'm going with this. Democrats, be afraid. Be very afraid, okay? You ought to be afraid. You ought to be, okay? Because that's what it is right now. It seems to me, and I'm glad that this seems to be the case, that the American people is opening their eyes. And I pray and hope that they don't pull some funky Dutch, the Democrats don't pull some funky Dutch nonsense, okay? Okay, but we'll see. We will see. We're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to see what's going to happen to this whole situation. We'll stand by and see. We'll stand by and see. But I just wanted to say that, yeah, you ought to be afraid. Be afraid. Be very afraid, okay? Because there's nothing, she has nothing to offer. Kamala Harris has nothing to offer. It has nothing to do with her being a female, and has nothing to do with her being black, Indo, whatever. I don't want to, yeah, I'm not going to get into this. She's black and all that. I'm not getting into that foolery. Had nothing to do with her race, her gender, any of that. It's her policies. It's her policies. And it seems to me that the American people are starting to wake up to that reality. Okay. So that's what I had to say about that. What do you guys think about this? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.